Let's get into it, y'all. President Trump, did he not tell us the truth when it comes to what's exactly going to be going on with the economy? This is on USA Today. Trump lied. Look a little bit. Shout out to USA Today. Trump lied about food prices. Now he says it's too hard to bring down costs. This is an opinion piece. Hold on, let me get one of these ads. No, that's not an ad. Okay. There's not much a president can do to wrestle food prices down. Did you think Democrats just wanted to just wanted to lose the election, so they chose not to push the magic lower grocery prices down button? This is by Rex Hupke. Anyways, USA Today just published, it's like updated at 5:13 a.m. today. Yep. All right. Here we go. Donald Trump acts like he invented this. Is like it's going to be a hit piece. Is that what they call these? Just like it's going to be worse than I didn't know USA Today. I guess most of them, if it's not Fox, it's a conservative. It's not a conservative one. Anyways, Donald Trump acts like he invented the word groceries. I thought it was not going to be a long episode, but it might be. He credits talking about groceries for his win in the presidential election, and he managed to trick enough Americans into voting for him by telling them he would lower the cost of these mysterious things called groceries. Rich people don't need to understand groceries. They just push a button and someone brings them snacks and meals. Jesus Christ. I might find an article that's a little bit less biased than this. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's see. We got CNN. Okay, we're gonna do NBC News. That was like, okay, kind of get a little less biased right here. Okay, Trump says it will be hard to bring down grocery prices. Pins hopes on lower. I told you I don't read these articles ahead of time. I swear to God, on lower energy costs and better supply chains. The pace of food price growth has already slowed dramatically over the past year. Yeah, all I do is skim these articles, see how long they're going to be, so I can prep for how long the episode is going to be. I don't read them at all ahead of time. Okay, here we go. President-elect Trump is acknowledging it may be difficult to bring down grocery prices, despite it making a key tenet of his presidential campaign. In interviews with Time magazine, which named him Person of the Year for 2024, Trump said he nevertheless believes it will happen through lower energy costs and supply chain improvements. I didn't see everything during the election. I mean, I'm sure President Trump did say he was going to lower grocery prices, but I'm not sure how much he explicitly said, like, I'm going to lower grocery prices, so definitely vote for me. I think when people talk about inflation, as far as the CPI, the metric that they use to track it, and just in general, most people are going to usually talk about gas and groceries, the things that people are getting essentially every single week. Those are the two main things. When people think about inflation, they're going to talk about how much money it costs to feed themselves and how much money it costs to put gas in their tank. That's usually the two things that people will talk about when it comes to inflation. I think we should look at, when I say look at, more things, like regardless of what they decide to measure, there are a lot of things that we should throw into the inflation conversation. It's not just the two double G's, right? Gas and groceries. I think it's things like over the last 20 or so years, how cell phones have now become, a necessity more than a luxury. I think things like that are purchases that are every single month that we don't put into the price of inflation, that I think as millennials are, more and more transitioning to going to be in the sandwich generation, things that we are really not calculating. Like growing up, like where the people had video game systems growing up, but now kids like have a video game system like and an iPad, right? And kids are having not just like a cell phone, they're having iPhones in elementary school, right? And whether people like it or not, an iPhone is a top of the line product when it comes to cell phones from a pricing standpoint. Man, look, I had a PlayStation, the Nintendo 64. I had the game systems, but that's it. I didn't have anything else. I couldn't think of having whatever costs of, inflation adjustment would be for like $1,000, $1,300 iPhone would be in elementary school. That's insane. On top of that, kids have iPads now, right? They're called the iPad generation. At 1, 2, 3 years old, they have iPads, and it's not like the parents' iPad, right? Like, I mean, they go and buy the child their own iPad, and not iPad isn't a synonym for tablet, like a literal iPad. I mean, that's top of the line right there. And a lot of times they're not recycled. People are going out there, they're getting them on fleeces in the sense of they're doing the monthly payments as well. All those things add up into why people are out here struggling, as well as with things like, higher rent prices, harder to get money now as far as a mortgage or a car loan for those people who want to do that. Grocery prices, gas, all those things come into play. On top of things like travel sports, right? Like traveling, playing sports was not a big thing growing up. Like if you played AAU basketball, like you must be getting ready to go to the league. We're just people just out here just doing travel sports. It's like, yo, you playing rec. We're gonna see you a couple months out the year, and then that's it. But there's just so much more money now. Like when I'm seeing travel football, that was not, traveling for football, going to nationals, elementary school, and middle school. What? No, no. So there are a lot of other costs that people are paying for that are not calculated to these inflation numbers. So they're really lower, I would think, from my perspective, than what we're actually seeing. But the main things are gas and groceries. That's what most people are going to complain about when they go to the grocery store, how much it is. That one TikTok, I think that went viral. I think the guy went to Walmart and he just loaded the app, purchased the same things. And I feel like he went from like roughly like $100, I think, in the pandemic, right before the pandemic, to like $400 this year. So maybe that was the last year post because now we're at the end of 2024. But yes, right and saying from President Trump's perspective, yeah, you want to get these votes. And here's the thing too, on the last article, like, do Dems not want to win the election, or are they willing to? I mean, all politicians quote unquote lie, right? It's a politician, but they were willing not to say they're going to lower grocery prices to lose those votes. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Trump responded it would not, so as far as his presidency would not be a failure if grocery prices didn't come down, while blaming the Biden administration for the way it handled the inflation that led to higher food prices in the first place. Look, here we go. This is a quote from President Trump. I know it's a quote because Trump does usually look a lot when he's speaking. Look, they got them up. I like to bring them down. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. You know, it's very hard, he said in an interview published Thursday. That seems like a President Trump quote. But, oh, my bad, y'all. He said, but I think they will. As far as the grocery prices going down, I think that energy is going to bring them down. I think a better supply chain is going to bring them down. You know, the supply chain is still broken. It's broken, Trump said. So Trump here is referencing the fact that grocery prices themselves are not high just because they want to sell, you know, bananas at a higher price. But the cost of getting the groceries in the store themselves, the supply chain and short here that he's saying, as well as energy, which you need, right, to fuel the trucks and things like that. Those prices are high. And from President Trump's perspective, by getting energy and fixing supply chain issues by lowering that price, in theory, economic theory, right, you should see the prices of groceries or any goods that are impacted by energy and supply, well, everything's impacted by energy and supply chain. But those things from a grocery perspective, you will then, in short, the businesses, the grocery stores will be spending less to get the groceries to the store in and of itself. And then those cost savings, in theory, they should pass on to us, the consumer. That's what President Trump is saying here.